Today we're going to start transforming this sphere into the body of our fish. So, you will need your sphere hardened and dry, the same bowl you've been working with to keep the balloon in its spot, scissors to pop the balloon, and then paint and a water cup to start painting. Let's start by cutting off the tail of our balloon like this. And then you can use your scissors to try to dig out the balloon. If it doesn't come out right away, that is okay. You can still paint this thing with the balloon inside. I actually gave up for a little while and started to paint instead. Later I got the balloon out though. Okay, so this sphere is going to become the body of your fish. And the little hole that had the tail of the balloon through it is going to be the fish's mouth. You might want to take a moment to cut a neater circle around the hole to make it look more like a mouth and less like, I don't know, a messy place you forgot to cover. Let's get painting. You can paint your fish any way you'd like, of course, but I'm going to try to make this little fishy look like a goldfish. So, I'm just planning out where the eyes and fins and everything else is going to be, and I've decided to paint the top half of my fish's body orange and the bottom half yellow. When you're painting your sphere, you definitely want to do the pinch and twist. Basically, anytime you're painting a sculpture, like when we were painting our birds, and now here when we're painting our fish, you want the paintbrush to be pointy and dry when you apply this paint. I just painted some circles right there to remind me that the fish's eyes are going to be about right there. And I'm almost done with the orange half, but I'm going to make sure that my lines are clean. Doing the pinch and twist, although very useful, can sometimes be messy, so you might want to grab a rag and keep it right next to you the whole time you're painting, just to keep your hands clean. Because as you can see, I like to hold the sphere with one hand to steady it while I paint with the other hand. And this is what I'm talking about when I say clean up my lines. Instead of just painting it once and accepting how it is, oops, I can go back and fix mistakes and paint layers. And double check that I really did paint half of this equally orange. Alright, looking good. I accidentally got a little orange on the white half. I'm hoping that as long as I clean my paintbrush really well, I can hopefully cover it with the yellow. It's looking fantastic. You want to keep in mind when you're painting your fish's body that you keep it simple. Make sure that you pick one or two colors to cover the whole thing with first. You can always add fun details later, like what's coming next. Okay, now that the whole sphere is covered with one or two colors in this case, you can start adding details, maybe even some texture perhaps. But you don't want to add anything like eyes or fins, because we are going to make the eyes and the fins for our fish separately and then glue them onto the form to keep everything 3D. So what you're allowed to paint next are patterns like polka dots or stripes or any type of texture. I am going to paint white wavy lines on the orange part of this fish to make it look like a scaly texture. Scales are the little shingle-like things that grow out of fish's skin. So here we go. I'm not painting eyes, I'm not painting fins. I'm just adding some texture. Cool, I'm really liking this scaly texture that I created on my form. I think it's really starting to look like a goldfish here. And next I'm going to paint some lips on this darling fish. So we know that the hole is the mouth, and you are going to choose any color you want for the lips and paint an arch on top and kind of like a U on the bottom of the hole. I chose orange, but it's kind of blending into the rest of the fish, so I'm going to take some black paint with a pointy paintbrush and outline those lips. Awesome, I'm definitely liking those fishy lips better now that I outlined them, because you can see them better. One more thing that you can paint on both sides of your fish are a set of gills. Gills are how fish breathe underwater. It filters the water and pulls out the oxygen. They need one on each side. I chose black to paint my gills so that they stand out more. You can choose any color as long as they stand out against the rest of the fish. And here's where the painting stops. We're going to start working on the fins and the eyes.